On today's show, no Luka Doncic, no problem. The Mavs take care of business against the Houston Rockets, and the guard duo of Dinwiddie and Brunson show us exactly what the Mavs can do. How will that help them going into the playoffs this year? We'll talk about that and more on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
Hey, Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good!
And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms, including YouTube, where you can subscribe to the show. Getting our way to 12,000 subs. And joining me, as always, my co-host, writer, contributor at Mavs.com, the community kid, the one more thing king. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Hey, you want to fight me? You want to fight me?
You want to fight me? You want to fight me? Do you want to fight me?
Shout out to the Miami Heat. Looks like it's having a lot of fun over there.
If we couldn't be Locked On Mavericks if we didn't just revel in the Heat just imploding a little bit here.
I love it. Sign me up for it. Let's do it.
Dirk would be proud.
You know what's also nice being a Mavericks fan? Whenever you see the Rockets suck, and boy, do they suck.
They do. I mean, they're young and they've got some interesting talent in that, but man, the Mavericks just took them in the third quarter and they never looked back. The Rockets offense was just so lost, so incredibly low. You would have never thought that was a Steven Silas coach team, and Steven Silas also coached the Mavs team that had the best offensive rating in NBA history, and then he was also coaching this team, right? Like, it's just so different because of talent and all that. But the big story in this game was Brunson and Dinwiddie. 28 points for Brunson, 26 points for Dinwiddie. 16 of Brunson's points came in the third quarter. And they basically just played like, all right, this is your quarter. Now this is my quarter. You know, first half was Dinwiddie scoring 19 points. Third quarter, Brunson scored 16. And then Dinwiddie put it, 7 more points or 11 more points in that fourth quarter? Basically, 7 more points in that fourth quarter to basically end the game. And it was exactly what you want from those two guys.
Oh, 100%. 54 combined points, between the two. Brunson obviously didn't hit a three tonight, but Dinwiddie hit 4 of those threes. A couple of those were step backs in the first half. It's nasty.
Just looking confident out there with the three.
Oh, no. Love it. I went to the game as a fan tonight. Went with my best friend, and I was from Houston. And
shots. It wasn't me, guys.
You were taking shots because he was wearing a Jalen Green jersey, and
I don't know. You just said best friend, and it wasn't me. So I think a lot of people a lot of people that listen to the pod are going to be like, "Wow, are these guys even friends?" I don't know.
Nick is one of my best friends, guys.
But wow, he just said one.
We talk more than Barb. Do you think I talked to Nick?
Hold on. Do I have a seat at the table among your best friends? Let's go.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
My wife just said absolutely. But no, so we went to the game as a fan, and we were watching the game. Obviously really enjoyed this because I'm wearing my Mavs quarter zip because the
Women
ladies like quarter zips.
It's such a deep cut joke that no one will get.
It is. And he's wearing his Rockets gear, but he leaned over in the first quarter and he goes, "Bro, Dinwiddie is so good." And he doesn't watch a ton of like Mavs games, but it's like, I'm like, dude, it is wild that how that trade is just unfolded. That I think it's a future thing we can do later on. That somebody asked me the other day during the day, they're like, "Hey, was that the most impactful trade this year?" And I'm like,
Harden.
Are we sure though?
I'm watching this Lakers-Sixers game, and Lakers may win this game without LeBron, so maybe not.
I know, but I think there's a legit argument to say like Spencer Dinwiddie going to Dallas was the biggest player acquisition at the trade deadline, like over that week or so.
The most impactful, I believe, but it's not the biggest because of James Harden going to the Sixers.
Most impactful, but
most impactful. I'm there with you on that.
Yeah, just how much it's changed Dallas's whole ceiling offense. Having another guy out there that can do what he did tonight, and it's like he's playing really good basketball, man. And like, obviously we were pros of this trade, and like, I thought he would be good in Dallas and change the team. I didn't think he'd be this good, this quick for Dallas. And that's what's awesome.
No, and he's hitting his threes and he's getting the line, and he's getting, he's 6 of 8 from the free throw line in this game. And he's not just getting the line, but he's finishing around the rim too. He had a couple more and ones in this game, and a couple more that could have almost been and ones, but then he went to the line and hit a couple of free throws there. It's just that we keep saying this, but it's true. It's having these different guys. Luka can do everything, right? So you have Luka to do all that. You have Brunson. He can do the herky jerky stuff, in the lane, and in the shots that he was hitting in the third quarter. We'll talk about him for sure, but those kind of shots are just awesome to have. He can get a shot off against a lot of different players. And then Dinwiddie to be the slasher, right? To get north-south, to get to the rim, and to finish around, to have those options. You can beat a lot of different teams' schemes with that, especially if you have all of them playing on the floor at the same time. Now, there are different problems with that, but to have those different options, plus the shooters of, Bullock and Dorian and Maxey and other shooters that the Mavs may have, like, those guys didn't shoot well tonight. Bullock was 1 of 6. Dorian was only 2 of 8. Brunson was 0 for 2. Josh Green went 0 for 2. Maxey went 0 for 3. Frank only hit 1. Sterling missed the 2 threes. I mean, the Mavs went 8 of 32. Without Dinwiddie's, they would have gone 4 of 26. That's awful. But they still won the game, and they found a way to win because they can score now in these different ways with these multiple guards.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a game like this and you say, all right, Luka's out. And there was a whole risk, like, hey, they're going to rest Luka. It's the Rockets. They suck, but
Isaac panic face over here.
Yeah. It's like, you can't lose this game. You need this game in the standings. Also, Minnesota lost to the Suns tonight. And your boy David Locks, Utah Jazz.
Great vibes, just great vibes, great vibes.
So
great vibes, no sensational vibes.
Don't interrupt.
Vibes are immaculate.
All right, take a drink every time he says vibes.
Great vibes.
But it's like, all right, Luka's not going to play. You're playing a bad team. What do you need to happen? You need your two next guys, your number 2 and your number 3,
man up,
to step up. I want to see him take the most shots on the team, and I want him to, tag team with scoring. Now, Dorian took 1 more shot than Dinwiddie in this game, but they did. It's like 26 points, 28 points. They did exactly what you would expect that and what you wanted in this game. And like, that's one of those moments you're like, thank you. Awesome. This, is Dinwiddie early. Brunson, tallied up later on.
Third quarter.
I was a little worried there a little bit. I'm like, Brunson, we can't have this. Like, don't have one of these games.
It's like one of your kids. Brunson.
I know, it's like Jalen
Brunson.
You can't do this. Like, it can't just be Dinwiddie scoring. Like, we can't have a super close game, Rockets 2-point, win, and Dinwiddie has 28 and Brunson sitting at like 14. I'm like, I will pull my hair out if that happens. And it didn't. And shout out to Brunson for leading the Mavs in scoring.
So with this in mind, with these 2 guards now, and yes, it was against the Rockets, all that, sure, you can qualify it all you want, but this has still been the way that the Mavs have been winning. When Luka is back, they now have these multiple ways to score. How does this change going into a first-round series? Because I'm looking back at some of these teams, and last year it was Luka's the only guy that can dribble on the team against the Clippers, right? The year before, Luka's the only one that you want taking a pull-up shot.
Wes Matthews could dribble a few years ago.
The wine.
Now you have these 3 guys. Hopefully, and Brunson's big test is going to be in the playoffs for sure. Whatever team the Mavs play, the Brunson's big test is going to be there. I expect Dinwiddie to play about the same because he's a bigger guard and all that. But having all these guys,
Brad Beal wants.
Having all these guys, how does it change going into a playoff series now?
Well, it's exactly what you said. It's like, now you're not. When Luka checks out of the game, you're not, here we go. Like, can y'all, it's the mindset of when Luka checks out, now you don't have to say, can we just stay afloat? Just stay afloat. Now, like, there is a realistic chance that, okay, we can continue with the sales, down. Like, we can continue moving on. Like, let's do this. Let's increase the lead. Let's keep the offense flowing instead of, all right, Luka's out. Well, now everybody just go below deck and just like start plugging holes on the side and like, let's just keep this thing afloat until Luka can come back.
And they've been doing that all year. Remember at the beginning of the season, Luka had a negative on-off, net rating at the beginning of the season. This bench has been doing it with Brunson at the helm, and now with Dinwiddie at the helm. They've been leading this Mavs team, in scoring and bringing them back and all that. And so it's been incredible to watch these guys. And so Dinwiddie and Brunson getting it done. But it wasn't just on them. There was a moment in the game that we actually didn't learn about until after the game that I think was a big moment for this Mavs team. And we'll talk about that coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about Truebill. A lot of us subscribe to things. I have so many subscriptions. I have a subscription for my dog. It's called BarkBox. And you just, you get you get treats and stuff. I have so many different subscriptions. I even have one for my dog. But do you know why free trials and subscriptions renew without your consent? It's a business scam that's out to get you. Don't let them. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't want, need, or simply forgot about. I'll never forget about the one for my dog, but there are other ones that I will forget. Companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. There are some subscriptions, like certain streaming services, you have to call the company, wait on the phone to cancel it. You can't just do it online.
Ludicrous.
No, his subscription is actually really good. The Fire TV? No. Fire Festival. Check out Truebill. They have over 2 million users. They've helped save them over $100 million. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now. Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. It can save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. I just realized I mixed up Ja Rule and Ludacris with my Fire Festival joke. Also, new advertiser for the show. Welcome in. Great vibes for NBA Top Shots, the officially licensed NFT of the NBA. Connect with a community of hundreds of thousands of NBA fans as a natural progression of fantasy sports, a way to upgrade your experience as an NBA fan. Isaac, you're a fan of the Top Shot. What kind of moments do you have? What are your packs like these days?
Oh, I have a hot moment right now. Kristaps Porzingis on the Mavs. It's not very hot, but listen, I actually enjoyed Top Shot. I enjoyed it, especially when it launched. I might have, this is the irony here, might have sold a LeBron for like a decent amount of money, and a LeBron one of all things, a LeBron one.
Making you money.
Sold a Jokic, used to get in line with the packs and stuff. It's just, it adds a different dynamic to watching the game. And I think it's fun. It's a fun thing to keep track of.
You can get the trading cards taken to the stock market in the NBA. You can make some money off of it, fantasy sports with it. You can also check out their loyalty program. They've actually flew a couple of collectors out to Game 5 of the NBA Finals for having Suns moments in their collection. So go check it out. If you sign up for Top Shot today, the best way to sign up is by getting yourself a starter pack. You can pull an NFT of a superstar like LeBron, like Isaac did, KD, Luka, all that for just $9. And if you didn't pull your favorite player from the starter pack, you can snag moments from the marketplace that appeal to you. Go check it out. NBA Top Shot. Get to the top. All right, Isaac Harris, thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen. For your next listen, check out Locked On Now podcast. Nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast. I learned from Josh Lloyd, Locked On Fantasy, the GOAT of just podcasting in fantasy basketball. If they don't give you a catchphrase at the end of these ads, then just give one to it. just give it one. Get to the top. Get to the top. NBA Top Shot. There was a moment in the game that we didn't learn about till afterwards. Was one of the reasons why the Mavs won this game. So, first segment we talked all about Dinwiddie and Brunson, how they were so good and blah blah blah. This game was not like this game. The Mavs did not have control of this game in the first half at all. The Rockets had leads at certain points in this game. It was back and forth. It was a back and forth game. Even at halftime, the Rockets were up by 1. The Mavs didn't really take control of this game until the third quarter, and then even then into the middle of the fourth quarter. And a moment that happened in this game, Callie Kaplan tweeted this out, that Dorian Finney-Smith spoke up in the locker room at halftime and called for accountability from everybody. And then Jalen Brunson spoke about it after the game. He said, Doe is a man of few words. So when he speaks, there's a lot of weight to that. He basically told us to wake up. Isaac, how important is it for a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith to start becoming a leader in the clubhouse, in the locker room for this team?
Well, I mean, I think there's a reason why a lot of people consider him the heart and soul of the team. Like in a way, like you don't want to do like the Draymond comp, but like as far as like how roster's made up, like what Draymond is for Golden State, like that's kind of what Dorian could be for this team, right? Like you just go across the board and say, well, who's the vocal guy?
Yeah.
Like it's not really Luka. I mean, Luka in a sense, you know,
leads in different ways. We'll talk about that later, actually, too.
Different ways. You know, look at Jalen Brunson, kind of more reserved, you know, kind of funny, you know, type of guy. Dinwiddie just got there. Plus,
I heard he likes to try to lead though, so maybe he will soon.
But it's like you just go across the board and it's like, all right, well, who's gonna, you know, Reggie just got there. I'm sure he's doing his thing. But
Dwight Powell's the longest tenured Maverick, and like he's not the vocal leader, like rah guy.
But everybody loves Dwight.
Sure.
So who's gonna be the guy that's gonna call you out? Like, who's gonna be? It's what I mean. I made a Wes Matthews joke earlier, but it's like Wes did that. Like nobody messed with Wes. Like. Even media, like walk in. I'm not talking to Wes Matthews. He wasn't fun to talk to. He wasn't fun to talk to. And I never like sought him out too much, a few times just to get a quote here and there. But like, because he was all business. And I respected the crap out of that guy because he took his job so personal and so passionate. And you saw it on the floor and he didn't care to call people out. And I think there's a reason why he's still in the league. So you need a guy like Dorian on your team. And for him to speak up like that, speaks volumes of how far he's come on the team since being an undrafted guy.
If you haven't heard any of our media day interviews, if you're new to the show or something, on media day back in October, we did an interview with every player on the team except for Porzingis, actually. And we sat down with them in the American Airlines Center during media day, and we asked them a bunch of questions, some of them fun, some of them serious. And one of them we asked Dorian, and we asked Dwight this too, is when do you become a veteran? When do you become a veteran and actually like start to become a veteran leader? And Dwight was sort of like, you know, he didn't really answer the question too. He was like, I don't know. I think you got to be in this league for a little while, and like took the stately answer to it. Dorian said, I think I'm about there. That was his answer to that question. He said, I think I'm about there. Like I've been in the league now, you know, what has he been in like 6-7 years? He's like, I've been on this team for a while. Like I feel like I'm about to get there right now. Yeah, this is Dorian's 6th year in the league right now. He's been with the Mavericks the entire time, one of the longest tenured Mavericks. And he's now stepping into that role as being the leader, as being the vocal guy, as being the guy that talks on defense, the guy that calls people out like this. And this moment right here, I think, is so important because it can't just be Luka. It can't just be Luka because, you know, too much is on him. But to be a leader like this, to call people out, especially defensively, Dorian is going to be that guy. And so he called for it. And guess what? This Mavericks team responded by holding Houston to 19 points in the third quarter, and their offense looked like they didn't know what a basketball was at times. I mean, it was just brutal. What did your Rockets fan friend think about that offense in the third quarter?
He was just mad that they weren't featuring Jalen Green a lot, which I don't get. I don't get either. It's like, why do you all suck so much?
Because Bullock took him out of the game. Bullock was glued to him the whole game, and I thought that he did a great job.
He was glued to him, but there's like on a bad team like that, there's too many possessions that they're just putting him in the corner. And it's like, all right, cool. Whenever you come around, like,
I mean, it's all your turn, my turn. It's like Eric Gordon, he's gonna ISO and take a jumper. You know, Kevin Porter Jr., he's gonna ISO and take a jumper. Jay Sean Tate is gonna ISO and take a like.
I know, but
this team
it's
does.
like, I mean, I couldn't help to laugh at Christian Wood. I don't know what game he's trying to play, but the step back threes, the decision making, like he is so far gone off that team. Like he is 100% traded in the offseason.
He's gonna be somewhere else.
But it's just like their whole team is a mess. But yeah, it's that I don't understand why Jalen Green, why he's shooting 11 shots in a game like this. Like you're gonna lose every game the rest of the season, basically. So let this dude like cook, or at least let him try to cook. And yeah, they just don't do that. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hierarchy, right? It's the reason why Dinwiddie said he came in here and it was so easy, is that the coaching staff laid out the whole plan. And this Rockets team is a little like that Wizards team he came from, right? Where just there's a bunch of different dudes. No one is like the alpha, the number one guy. There's not this clear hierarchy of, okay, it's Luka, it's Brunson, and then it's me, right? That's what the Mavs told Dinwiddie when he came in. They just don't have that on this Rockets team because nobody has been in the league long enough except for Eric Gordon, and he's not your number one guy. Christian Wood can be at some nights. Jalen Green can be on some nights. Kevin Porter Jr. can be on some nights, but they don't have that, and that's why it's hard for these young teams a lot.
Just wait till they have Chet.
Chet or Jabari or whoever they get. But
please don't send Jabari to this team. I cannot watch it. I like Jabari, and I cannot see him play with these guards.
Okay, Paolo then. Send Paolo there.
Well, I don't care about Duke players, but
no, you don't. But Dorian Finney-Smith stepping up and being the leader at halftime and calling people out and keeping everyone accountable matters. And I think that's great. I love him stepping up into that role. I think that also helps him in the playoffs. So now we have two things, right? The two guards, and we have Dorian stepping up as a leader. Coming up, let's get into some other notes, things that we saw from this game, other things that we noticed about this Mavericks team. Frank Ntilikina, I thought, had a really good end of this game. We'll talk about him and more coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about Bet Online. It's that time of year again. College basketball coming back. Sweet 16 is coming up.
Tonight, baby.
Final Four. Lots of stuff. Go check it out. All of it on Bet Online. They have the best props and odds and lines and everything you're going to need for the tournament. Let's see what kind of games we got on this one. They have NCAA props, March Madness props. The biggest Sweet 16 win, over 17.5 points, under 17.5 points. Are you feeling a win that's going to go over basically 18 points?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That one team will win by that many points?
Mm-hmm.
Highest seed to reach the Final Four, under 7.5, over 7.5. Are St. Peter's, are they cashing their ticket to the dance?
I'll take over on that. I think a higher seed goes.
So there you go. Check it all out on Bet Online and feel strongly about any of those. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. It's Bet Online, where the game starts and doesn't end. Never. All right, Isaac Harris. We talked about Spencer Dinwiddie and Brunson. We talked about Dorian Finney-Smith stepping up as a leader. We talked about Reggie Bullock and his defense. This Mavs defense just really stepping up. A couple other notes from this game. Dwight Powell, I thought, had a really good game. Dwight Powell continues his incredible march. 13 points, 7 boards, 3 assists in this game. 6 of 8 from the field. Had another and one. What is up with him in and ones? People just like to foul him. He gets hit in the face all the time. It's been well documented by me, and now many other Mavs reporters are documenting his, getting hit in the face-ness. But Dwight Powell, I thought, had another good game.
He's super smart, so he knows where to put his body to draw these fouls. Like even going up for like
no, he knows where to put his face. Just all about face placement.
So yeah, I mean, he's smart. He's playing efficient basketball. He's not going to be your best player out there on the floor. But I mean, 13 points in this game, like 7 boards, couple assists, 6 of 8. Like finish above the rim whenever he's playing with Luka. Get some rebounds, get some and ones. Like that's his role. And right now he's playing well because they changed his role. And but no, he is playing his role.
His role has been changed. That was that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, the moment they tried to do, they moved on from the stretch 5.
When they changed his role, that's an inside joke from 2 years ago now. All these throwbacks today.
That's like a hairstyle like you were trying to like pull off, and you tried for a while, and you're like, this is, and you just accept it. Like you can't pull it off.
No.
So you just went back to what the old faithful, the like buzz cut or whatever it is. And that's what they did. And
shout out to anybody out there with a buzz cut. They're sitting there with a buzz cut.
Probably like a college student, like 22.
Just living with the buzz cut.
Yep.
So Dwight Powell had another good game. I thought Frank Ntilikina also had a good game. He was 6 of 10, hit a couple of sweet like little jumpers, hit a 3 in the corner. He had 4 assists, 3 boards. I just like that he's getting some run on this team, and I like that between him and Josh Green, like you have a couple of young, interesting guys too. I don't think Frank Ntilikina is going to matter in the playoffs for the Mavs this year.
No. No.
You said that like, let's stop talking about him.
No.
But I like that it's a guy that they can develop, and I like what I've seen from him because the little jumpers in the lane, that stuff he can add to his game that can actually make him more than just all I am as a defensive guy and a stand in the corner and shoot a 3 guy.
Yeah, well, tonight's game is exactly the type of game that you want to see him in. It's like, hey, it turned into a blowout, so he got a lot of run in the 4th. They're like, yeah, let's throw him out there. And shout out to Moses Wright.
Hey,
getting some minutes, got some points in this game. He had that and one. Super happy for him. And, I always love this moment with like team chemistry stuff. That is another sign. You're always looking for those more signs to see team chemistry. Moses Wright goes in, he gets the minutes. Obviously, he never plays at all. And
this is his first NBA game.
Is it really? I thought he played in one game for the Clippers.
I'm pretty sure. Or this is his first NBA points.
So he scores. And what happens on the Mavs bench? Everybody's standing up. Luka has his
He played
arms
one
up.
game for the Clippers.
Okay, so Luka has his arms up. He's like cheering on, like Tim and all those guys are hyped up. And it's like that's the type of stuff I love seeing that.
And then after the game, it was reported, I think by Callie again, but that Luka went out and grabbed the game ball from Moses Wright after he scored his first NBA points and came back and gave it to him. That Luka went out. Cool. Luka went out and grabbed that ball. Spencer Dinwiddie after the game said that Luka went out in Brooklyn and got him the game ball after he hit that game winner. And quote, Luka's known to do classy things like that. That's what Spencer Dinwiddie said about Luka. And so this is the moment I talked about at the beginning of the show, that leadership from Dorian, that vocal stuff. But Luka has now become like the ambassador guy, like I'll go get you the game ball. I'm going to take care of my guys, right? I'm going to make sure that like
he's the quarterback that's getting the offensive line Rolexes.
He's I was going to say he's the Saracen, but then you talked about buying Rolexes. Like
Saracen isn't buying Rolexes.
No, but he's like the guy that's just going to lead, right? And he's just going to
say, hey, you want to go get a milkshake? I'll get you a milkshake.
Scrap my Saracen analogy. It's gone. It was a bad one. He's the quarterback that's going to buy the Rolexes, right? Like he's the Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean that's what he is, and that's the type of leader he is, and I think it's really cool to see the different type of leaders on the team.
Okay, so now the Jazz lose.
You know what didn't work? Hold on. You know what didn't work in this game is the Name That Tune. They try to play a Name That Tune game during a timeout, whatever.
It's in the timeout where they play these songs, and then there's 4 or 5 like fans on the court, and they have those little clapper things, and they have to clap when they know what the song is, and then Ali D comes up to him, puts the microphone up to him, and they say it's Beyonce, and they're like, yeah, it is Beyonce, and then they get a point. But they tried it tonight, and it didn't work.
Well, they tried it with the Mavs gaming team, and they played.
That was the Mavs gaming team.
Yeah, and they played it with video game like songs,
music. Yeah.
So they started with Mario, and then they went to Halo next, and it's like, okay, they got it. Well, then they played something that nobody knew. I've never seen in this game to where nobody knew. Everybody just sit there and looked at each other, and they're, all right, that was from, and they said something.
Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't remember.
It was GoldenEye and N64 GoldenEye.
Yeah, and I just started dying laughing, and then they played something else, and then the guy was like Zelda. And it wasn't Zelda. I'm like, all right, this is this is brutal right now. So anyway.
I can't remember what that one was. I can't remember what that one was now off the top of my head. But yeah, it was so fun. They're like wearing Mavs gaming gear, and they're saying, I was like, guys, come on, guys. Like, Dimes would have known.
Shout out to Dimes tearing up at Toronto.
I was like, I don't even remember where he went. He's not with the Mavs anymore. But yeah, that did not work. Also, Josh Christopher acknowledging the Chick-fil-A in the fourth quarter. If the opposing player goes up to the free throw line, it's honestly my favorite thing about Mavs games right now. Opposing player goes up to the free throw line, and then there's all this like Chick-fil-A red signage all over. The court has been blue the whole game. All the signage is blue. All the lights are blue. All of a sudden, everything just turns red. And it's Chick-fil-A. If a player on the other team goes up to the free throw line in the fourth quarter and misses 2 free throws in a row, everybody gets a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. And so the crowd gets so hyped, no matter what the score is, for when a player goes up to the free throw line in the fourth quarter. And Christopher goes up there. He misses the first one. He kind of like looks around at the crowd, and then he hits the second one, and he just like shakes his head. And it's like, you're not going to get it from me. Like, it's not going to happen from me, because he like acknowledged that the crowd was cheering to get free Chick-fil-A.
He should have missed it.
He should just be a hero. Be a hero, Josh Christopher.
Be a hero.
Okay, so now the Mavs are tied with the Jazz again. 2 days ago, I said, is the dream dead for the Mavs to pass the Jazz?
Don't be in the play-in.
Don't listen to me on any like season trend thing. Not defining the season, not seeding, all that. Don't listen to me on that stuff, apparently. And now the Mavs.
I want to clip that. So bad. Bring it back. Is this 5-game stretch? Is it going to define the season for the Mavs? I love that. Oh,
And then Luka didn't play.
Shout out to the person who just DM'd us. Post-game show? Question mark.
Yeah,
It's
we're
coming, bro.
recording it right now.
If Nick will just stop with this one more things, then we can get off this pod.
Tied with the Jazz. They play the Jazz Sunday. Friday is the Timberwolves. The Mavs are now 3.5 games up on the Timberwolves. They were almost getting passed by the Timberwolves at the beginning of this week, and now they're 3.5 games ahead of them with a chance to get 4.5 games ahead of them on Friday. How are we feeling about where the Mavs stand right now? Can they still get home court advantage? How are you feeling about the Warriors? The Warriors had nobody, and they beat the Miami Heat that we talked about at the beginning.
I mean, yeah, it's like just stay at 4-5. Like stay somewhere through there. I mean, for me, because I want Utah, so I was like, let's just try to angle for that matchup and obviously win as many games as you can going down the stretch here. We don't know what's going to happen with Utah, and will Golden State, will they crumble a little bit with Steph out and stuff? But if I'm Dallas, I'm angling for Utah. It starts getting really tricky. What if Golden State loses like 3 in a row and then Utah passes them? Then it's getting weird because I don't want to match up with Golden State in a 4-5.
Even despite how messed up they are right now.
It's not. I'm not wanting to avoid it as bad. Like I think I still want Utah more than Golden State, but I'm not like fearing it like I did with the.
Would you rather have Golden State or Denver?
Oh, Golden State.
Yeah. You'd much rather have Golden State than Denver.
Just because of Steph's not 100%.
And Jokic would just tear up the
Jokic. I mean, are they going to get some of the other guys back? Like, I don't know about that.
It's too late in the season. Like, we haven't seen anything from Jamal Murray at all. We've seen him go to the Grand Rapids G League team.
I mean, still, if he comes back and plays, I mean,
he's going to be a spot up shooter. I think at that point.
But yeah, I'm still angling for Utah, and let's see they play Utah on Sunday. That's a massive game.
Huge game.
Like huge. I mean, these next 2 games are massive. I mean, Luka's going to go into this Minnesota game with 3 days off of rest. So that'll be huge. And
I've heard that he's taken a cutout picture of Patrick Beverley's face from a magazine and pinned it to his mirror in the bathroom. He just stares at it and just
I don't even think he dislikes Beverley. I think he just looks at him as like this annoying pest. It's like, bro, you're not even worth my time.
Come on, just stop talking to me.
His little brush off wave at him was incredible.
It's like I'll play nice for the cameras and all that, sure, but I'm done. Like, we're not friends off camera. Like, let's not pretend like we're cool. Like, we hang out. There you go. Thanks for bringing Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. Tomorrow we will be back with more, and then Friday the big game against the Wolves. We'll have a post game for it as well. Now go listen to Locked On NBA with me and Pat, the designer from Locked On Bulls. It should be fun. I'm excited. Pat is awesome, and I'm excited to host with him. Every Monday through Friday, check out Locked On NBA on YouTube and the podcast in 30 minutes. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
No.
Boom.